If your AI risk manager interview is tomorrow and you don't have time for the full series, this is the video for you. 10 questions that come up again and again with a straight, strong answer for each in about 15 minutes. Here's how to use it. Every answer leads with a one-line takeaway in bold. If you remember nothing else, remember those 10 lines. I'll also give you a say this soundbite for each, a sentence you can repeat almost word for word in the room. One framing point that ties it all together. As a risk manager, you own the response. You design controls, set risk appetite, and make the accept or mitigate call. You're an enabler with guardrails, not a blocker. Keep that lens on every answer. Let's go. Number 1. How is AI risk different from traditional software or IT risk? One-line answer. AI risk is probabilistic, data-driven, and emergent. The system can behave unpredictably, degrade silently as data shifts, and cause harm at scale. So you manage it across the whole life cycle, not just at release. Back it up. Traditional software is deterministic. AI is probabilistic. The data is part of the system, so bias and drift are first-class risks. Harms scale fast and silently, and risk is continuous, design through monitoring. Say this. Traditional IT risk is about the code doing what it was told. AI risk is about a system that learns, drifts, and can be wrong at scale. Number 2. How would you align an organization with the NISTAI risk management framework? One-line answer. Operationalize its 4 functions. Govern as the backbone, then map, measure, manage as a continuous loop anchored to a real system, with govern setting policy, roles, and appetite across the other 3. Back it up. Govern sets policy, accountability, risk appetite. Map establishes context and catalogs risks. Measure assesses with metrics, bias, drift, robustness. Manage prioritizes, mitigates, monitors, and feeds signals back into map. Say this. I anchor on govern as the backbone, then run map, measure, manage as a continuous loop around a real system. Number 3. Walk me through how you'd run an AI risk assessment on a new model. One-line answer, a structured pass. Understand the use case and context, identify risks across data, model, and deployment, score them by impact and likelihood, then assign own mitigations and a monitoring plan. Back it up. Understand the use case and who's affected. Identify risks across the life cycle. Score by impact and likelihood, weighting scale and reversibility. Assign own mitigations and monitoring. Say this. I assess across the whole life cycle, data, model, deployment, then turn each material risk into an owned mitigation with monitoring. Number 4. You found 30 AI risks. How do you prioritize what to act on? One-line answer. Rank by risk, impact times likelihood, weighted for scale, harm, and reversibility. Then act on the critical few first. Don't treat every risk as equal, or you'll dilute effort and lose leadership. Back it up. Score consistently with the AI multipliers. Surface the critical few. Match effort to risk, accept, mitigate, transfer, or avoid. Tie priorities to appetite so the cut line is defensible. Say this. I force a priority order against risk appetite. Leadership needs the 3 that matter now, not 30 that all say hi. Number 5. An HR screening model is found to have historical bias. What do you do? One-line answer. Contain, then fix at the root. Pause or add human review on high-stakes decisions. Diagnose where the bias enters, data, label, or objective. Choose a fairness metric fit to the harm. Remediate and monitor going forward. Back it up. Contain first with human oversight. Diagnose the source. Pick a fairness metric that fits the harm. They conflict, so it's a judgment call. Remediate and monitor continuously. Say this. First, I contain the harm with human review, then fix the root cause in the data or objective, and monitor fairness so it doesn't drift back. Number 6. What controls prevent sensitive corporate data leaking into public LLMs? One line answer: layered controls. An acceptable use policy, technical guardrails like DLP, or an approved enterprise gateway. Data classification so people know what's off limits, and training because the leak is usually a person pasting data, not a breach. Back it up. Policy for acceptable use, technical controls, DLP, egress, or a sanctioned LLM with no training terms. Classification so staff know what's sensitive, and training since most leaks are well-meaning employees. Say this: the leak is usually someone pasting data into a chatbot, so I combine policy, DLP, and an approved no training gateway with real user training. Number 7. What are the top Gen AI risks you'd manage and how? One line answer: anchor on the OWASP LLM top 10. Prompt injection, sensitive data disclosure, hallucination, excessive agency, and manage with defense in depth, input and output controls, least privilege on tools, human in the loop, and monitoring. Back it up. Prompt injection is number 1 and can't be patched, so layer defenses. Control what data reaches the model. Validate outputs before they drive decisions. Apply least privilege to the model's tools and actions. Say this: I anchor on the OWASP LLM top 10, and since prompt injection can't be patched, I manage Gen AI risk with layered defenses, not one control. Number 8. How do you assess and govern a third-party AI vendor? One line answer: due diligence the vendor's model, data handling, and security upfront. Demand evidence like model cards, SOC2, and certifications. Lock risk controls into the contract. No training on your data, breach notice, right to audit, then monitor ongoing. Back it up. Diligence model provenance and security. Demand evidence, but no SOC2 covers security, not bias or performance. Contract for no training, retention, breach notice, audit rights. Monitor ongoing. Say this: I diligence the model and data handling, lock the risk controls into the contract, and keep monitoring. A SOC2 alone never covers the AI-specific risk. Number 9. A model's performance silently degrades in production. How do you catch it and respond? One line answer: you catch it with continuous monitoring of drift and performance against thresholds, and respond with a pre-built playbook. Alert, assess impact, contain via rollback or human review, root cause, and remediate. Back it up. Detect via input drift, output distributions, performance versus thresholds. The fact it was silent is itself the finding. Respond from a playbook. Root cause and remediate, then tighten monitoring. Say this: silent degradation means monitoring failed, so I run drift and performance monitoring against thresholds with a rollback playbook ready. Number 10. The business wants to bypass a risk assessment to launch ahead of a competitor. How do you handle it? One line answer: don't just say no. Quantify the risk in business terms, offer a faster risk proportionate path, a rapid assessment or a limited pilot with guardrails, and escalate for a documented, accountable decision if they still want to proceed. Back it up. Acknowledge the pressure. You're an enabler, not a blocker. Quantify in their terms: regulatory, financial, reputational. Offer a proportionate path. If they still bypass, escalate for a documented risk acceptance with an owner. Say this: I don't just block, I quantify the risk, offer a faster, guarded path, and if they still want to skip it, I make it a documented, owned risk acceptance. That's the 10. If you're walking in tomorrow, the 3 that come up most are: how AI risk differs from traditional IT risk, the HR bias scenario where you contain first and then fix at the root, and the Gen AI risks you'd manage anchored on the OWASP LLM top 10. This video is really the trailer. If you've got more than a night, the full 8-episode series goes deep on every one of these, including the mistakes that quietly sink candidates. Comment A risk and I'll send you the free top 15 question sheet. Subscribe for the full series and good luck in there. You've got this. This has been Fortivan's Academy.